So would you believe this is now my 4th attempt at question 4. So lots of information is given here. The first piece of information that we're going to look at is the scale factor. The scale factor tells us that the smaller triangle is 1/4 of the size of the larger triangle. Now we can do this one of two ways. We can either say that we are going to start with the larger triangle, make it smaller, and use a scale factor of 1/4. Or, remember what we saw in the last question? We can start with the small triangle and use a scale factor of 4. That sounds much nicer. So, important, a scale factor is 4. Now, when I enlarged my small triangle, I made it 4 times taller and 4 times wider, which means that I actually enlarged it by the area by 4 squared. 4 squared is 16, which means the large triangle is 16 times bigger in area than the small triangle. But we're talking about the composite shape. What does composite shape? It means made up of bits. Bits that have been added on and bits that have been cut away. So basically the composite shape is the blue bit. So the ratio of the area of the small triangle to the composite shape. Well, if we call this bit 1, the whole big triangle would be 16. We know that because we've just worked out the area scale factor is 16. But the composite shape has had the small triangle cut out, so it's not the full 16. It's had one of them cut out. If one of them's been cut out, what's left? 15. So the ratio is 1:15. That's for the area. Remember, it's really important we pay attention to that. This is for the area. We now want the area of the smaller triangle. Well, we know that the ratio is 1:15 because we've just written that down. We also are told that the composite shape is 600. So 600. Well, what's happened to that ratio? I've multiplied it by 40. So what do I need to do to this side of the ratio? Oh, I need to multiply it by 40. Fantastic. It feels like all I've done this week is ratio. So 40 would be the area of the smaller triangle. Find the base of the smaller triangle. So the base of the smaller triangle we can find using the fact it gives us here about the ratio of the lengths being 4 to 5. That means, for example, if the height is 4, then the base is 5. If the height is 10, then if the height is 8, then the base is 10. So, if we think about it, we know that base times height equals base times height divided by 2 equals 40. So that means that the base is 5x and the height is 4x. So if we could call it 4x to 5x. That's where x is a number we don't know. We know that if we multiply those two together and divide it by 2, it gives us 40. So we know that 4x multiplied by 5x divided by 2 gives me 40, which means that 4x times 5x, which is 20x squared, that gives me 80. Actually, I'm not going to do the 20x squared bit. I'm just going to say 4x times 5x. A number in the 4 times table multiplied by a number in the 5 times table. Okay, so what could I do? I could do 4 times 5. Nope. I could do 8 times 10. Oh, look, that works. So it's going to be 8 multiplied by 10. Just look for pairs of numbers that fit 4 and 5. Find the base of the smaller triangle. Remember, the base is the larger side. The larger is 10. What would the height of the larger triangle be? Well, we know that the height of the smaller one is 8. No, that's 8 and that's 10. We know that the larger triangle is 4 times bigger. So instead of being 8 tall, it's going to be 8 multiplied by 4, 32. For 1 mark, they're making you do an awful lot there. In an exam, you would expect probably 2 marks, 2 marks, probably 3 marks, and 2 marks again. So that repeats that one.